Now, Marco Rubio was once considered the savior of the Republican Party. Well, laugh along with me, right? Since then, he has actually been proven to be nothing more than an empty suit that just happened to be stuffed full of money. How much money? Turns out, a lot. According to the Huffington Post, the nation's Republican billionaires have poured millions of dollars into a super PAC backing the presidential campaign, the now defunct campaign of Senator Marco Rubio. Now, in February alone, get this, the establishment donors from the Republican Party have given $25 million to Rubio's Conservative Solutions PAC. Now, that's just one super PAC. Bernie Sanders by himself in the month of February raised over $40 million. But that's for his entire campaign. This is one super PAC. This doesn't even talk about who donated to his campaign. Now, speaking of who is actually donating to this super PAC? Well, among the billionaires and making seven-figure contributions to Rubio's super PAC in February, reports the Huffington Post, hedge fund managers Paul Singer and Ken Griffin. They gave each about $2.5 million. Poultry magnate Ronald Cameron donated $5 million, as did ex-AIG head Hank Greenberg, through two corporations connected to him. Oracle chairman Lawrence Ellison also donated $1 million, as did Rubin's patron, Miami used car salesman Norman Brahman. So already, those are some of his highest donors to that Republican super PAC. Now, other $1 million, or what they call smaller donors, included Joplin, Missouri roofing executive David Humphrey and his sister Sarah Atkins, giving $1 million. Bezaloo Stables LLC, a company owned by Miami businessman Benjamin Leon, and Access Industries, a company owned by billionaire investor Len Blavatnik. So, now there are also, so the numbers here, right? What does this add up to? Well, it turns out the seven-figure contributions accounted for $21 million of the $25 million the super PAC received in February. So 9 billionaires total gave $21 million to Marco Rubio's super PAC in just 1 month. Now let's compare that once again to Bernie Sanders. Now I brought up how much he raised in February, but from how many people? Well, he topped 2 million donors just recently. 2 million individual donors allowed him in that same time period to raise $43.5 million. Now, let's contrast that to the other Democratic candidate, Hillary Clinton, whom Bernie Sanders outraised by $13 million. People power, man. This is what happens when you get an actual grassroots campaign, as opposed to 9 billionaires, which is those who have backed Marco Rubio. But of course, Bernie Sanders, even though he raised all that money, he should still drop out, by the way. That's if you read establishment newspapers. Now, speaking of the establishment, donors who gave to Rubio's campaign included Arizona Diamondbacks owner Earl Kendrick, hedge fund billionaires Seth Klarman, Chicago-based investor David Harrow, the DeVos family, from here in Michigan, and Stevens Inc. CEO Warren Stevens. Now, the group also received a $250,000 contribution from Decor Services LLC. Now, this is where it gets a little shady. See, this company, Decor Services, is a Delaware company with no known owner. Wait a minute. You have a company with no owner? They don't know who it is. Who owns this company? And where did it come from? Apparently, it was founded on January 12th. Just recently. Just a couple of months ago. Brand new corporation. Interesting. And later, days later, from its founding, actually donated $250,000 to one of Governor Chris Christie's super PACs. That was back when Christie was in the race. Interesting. Very interesting. Now, in fact, it's so interesting that it caught the eye of a campaign finance watchdog group, Democracy 21. Now, along with the Campaign Legal Center, they filed a complaint against this weird little company, this, I guess, shadow company, Decor Services LLC, on March 2nd for illegally obscuring the true source of the pro-Christie donation. Now that's weird. Now it also gave money to Marco Rubio's campaign. How is that not a bigger story? That's what I'm wondering. A random company pops out of nowhere, right? It just materializes into existence and then gives $250,000 first to Chris Christie and then to Marco Rubio's super PACs. How's that not a big story? How's that not shady as fuck? Super, super shady. Super shady. But nonetheless, I mean, this company essentially wasted $500,000 on both Chris Christie and Marco Rubio. So big waste of money. But I'm sure if you have enough money to sit there and set up a shadow corporation, right, with no known owner, and to just randomly throw out money to establishment candidates, I guess you seem to have probably nothing to worry about financially. But nonetheless, this is a bad return on investment. But it also shows that since Citizens United, billionaires, millionaires have been essentially, at the moment, failing hardcore, spectacularly at buying presidential elections. Now that's not for lack of trying. Now the danger is that if we don't soon reverse Citizens United, that one of these days they're actually going to figure it out. They're going to figure out how to be successful at buying presidential elections. Now they're already being very successful at buying local and state elections when they pour a bunch of money into it. Now, once they figure out how to actually buy national elections, watch out. But hopefully, we can stop Citizens United, we can reverse that decision and stop super PACs before it gets to that point. We don't have a lot of time left. Maybe another election cycle, maybe less before they figure this out. We gotta move fast. Gotta get rid of Citizens United. We've gotta get the money out of politics.